Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. I'm hoping all the audio and video settings are correct. I have migrated to a new SSD with a fresh install of Windows, so I've had to reset up a bunch of stuff. I've been able to transfer over a lot of my settings and things, but there's going to be a few things out of whack, I'm guessing, because, you know, a fresh install of everything is pretty rough. I needed to do a fresh install. It's been way too long. I mean, I'm talking like 10 years kind of long. Like, I had migrated one install of Windows to the next, like Windows 7 upgraded to Windows 10, you know, without a fresh install. And then I migrated that Windows 10 installation to a new SSD at some point. So it's been a lot of like a lot of issues have slowly built up over the years with that installation and PC setup. So I just was like, I need it, and my hard drive was starting to die. Like the write speed was slowing down. So I needed to figure out something new. So I did, and here we are. All right, so we've got 600 fish on this belt, and hopefully it'll get spaced out well enough that everything will work okay. So I'm gonna leave that alone for now. I hope everyone's having a good day today so far. Let's see, what should we do here? Why don't we add some more, whatchamacallits, some more power. Haven't done that in a while. Is that lined up? I can never tell. I think that's lined up. Looks lined up. Some more power here. I'll go for a full 12. We haven't built power in a while, so go for another 72 megawatts here. Ooh, look at that. About 23 minutes ago, we had a moment where tidal power by itself was sufficient to power the base. Now that's cool. That's what I like to see. I like to see that. Okay. What are we doing? I know we were looking at Kimsai overall and like stainless steel stuff. We're still waiting on Malaysia, by the way. Oh my gosh, we're up to 1400 and we still only have 3? Oof. That is a big oof. Because I really need Mark II Malaysia. Like, I don't think I want to expand this to be a bigger chunk. So I'm really waiting for that Mark II. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, so taking stock. I feel like, did we ever do nickel? We did do nickel, right? Yeah. Nylon is done. So I guess aramid is next. Nylon's fully happy there. Okay, so for aramid, I don't even know the answer to aramid. Is this boiled down to all the things? No, we got Kevlar in here. Never did Kevlar. So Kevlar is the non-DMS one, right? I think we only get one of the Kevlar. Oh, hitting the technology hotkey twice does that. We get only, yeah, we get PPD from ammonia and chlorine and nitrobenzene, and then we get Kevlar from nylon, TCL, Orgsolv, and PPD. Okay, so then this is broken down to pretty base components. I can't remember, is PPD used in anything else? PPD. No, it's not. So PPD made on site where we make Kevlar would make sense. Because there's only one way to make it, and there's only one way to use it, which is Kevlar. And eventually you switch out the other stuff in Kevlar for some other things, but that's, you know, really no reason to separate these out. So PPD goes together with that. Nitrobenzene is used in a few different places, so we're gonna have to train that, unfortunately. Benzene, sulfuric, and ammonia. Okay. Kind of expensive. It's basically even more expensive than sulfuric acid. But sulfuric acid's not that expensive anymore because of all of our new fangled shroom acid, or whatever we called it. Sulf shroom? Yeah, that's what it is. So nitrobenzene's not that bad anymore, other than the ammonia. But it's three nitrobenzene per ammonia. Okay, and then the Kevlar is used in a bunch of stuff, but mostly buildings. Is that a spacesuit for a dog? It doesn't look like a human spacesuit. That looks like a dog. And like the way that I'm looking at it, that looks like a dog. That does not look like a person. It might be a spacesuit for a dog, like legitimately. Anyway, it does look like Kevlar's needed for a decent number of things. Mech parts, O2, and Kevlar coating being the main things. But it's used outside of that too. So Kevlar will need to go on trains. But then I'll probably... Because then Kevlar coating's only used in one place, which is iron niobium coating, which is then only used in one place. And then, of course, optical fibers used in a few places. But yeah, it feels kind of hard to argue. And TCL is only used in aramid and Kevlar. I think we'll make TCL in its own spot because it's got a lot of random ingredients too, and none of those ingredients overlap with the other ingredients. Do we have all of these? I think so. Well, we don't have liquid nitrogen, but I can make that on site. That's what I've been doing, is just bringing in gasoline and nitrogen. That doesn't really make that much sense though. Now that I think about it, it does make more sense to ship liquid nitrogen. Because it's 10 times denser. I mean, we have to ship the nitrogen eventually, so it doesn't really change much, but we centralize it. I've got all the nitrogen here. I could set up liquid nitrogen generation. We would need a free gasoline import. We already have gas. No, that's syngas. This could import gasoline. There's nothing in that. Oh, we already have. Wait, we already. Oh, I'm dumb. I thought that looked like gasoline. It is gasoline. It's right here. We already have gasoline. All right. So yeah, this is pretty easy then to just add. And we've even got a provider here. That's on priority 2. Is there a provider on regular priority? Oh look, there's one right here that's not even getting used. Easiest thing of my life. Okay, so all we need then is a bunch of... what is it made in? I guess I should double check. Is liquid nitrogen made in different ways? Like it, or is it a byproduct sometimes? Doesn't really look like it. This is the only way to make it. And it is used in quite a few places. We're already using it one time for Xiapho. So yeah, I might just make liquid nitrogen here. And a bunch of compressors, maybe up here or something. It's kind of out of the way. Because we just need gasoline, nitrogen, and water. I don't know how many we need, but I'm guessing 3. That can already handle, what is that, 500 nitrogen a second? So that's already most of our production. I guess I'll do one more. Just call it a day. Alright, so then let's do this, this. Power. Copy that, but then we have the problem of these not being two-way. And then copy that. Okay. So there's that. Now we just need to get all the fluids hooked up. Water-wise, we do need a lot of water for this. Actually, more than I thought we would need. So I'm gonna get some of these guys going. 4, 5. Should be enough. I think 4 is actually enough. No, technically not. I also already considered this. You may not have thought that I considered it because my mouth didn't open and say words about it, but I already considered that these output a lot of cold steam, which this is a good place to have cold steam because we've already got cold steam stuff like figured out in this block. Now I'm gonna have to remember where the heck to plug it in, but we do already have cold steam figured out. What temperature is this? This is 150, so this is cold steam. Okay, what is happening here? So cold steam is feeding a bunch of processes. It's feeding the syngas process, it's feeding the dirty froth, bitumen froth, whatever that's called, situation. It's being imported if we end up running out of it. It's also being added via the syngas creation. No, that's hot steam. What? Uh-oh. Oh, right. The hot steam first goes to hot steam things. And we're topping up hot steam. But then if we end up having excess hot steam, then that goes to get mixed with cold steam. But given that this steam's temperature is exactly 150, I take it that's never happened. Interesting. Yeah, this is getting topped up all the time. So this is not actually ever overflowed. I wonder what that means. That must mean that I'm not using coke and I'm using syngas more than coke, or something like that. I don't know exactly what it means, but it means something like that. Because yeah, you can see these things are all running to keep this topped up to 50k. Okay. Anyway, so this is still the cold steam. Oh, wait, we're also topping... Wait, what's going on here? Wait. That's topping up hot steam to 20%. This is topping up cold steam to 50%? Wait, why am I topping up cold steam to 50%? I'm not sure if I totally understand why we're doing that. Also, I feel like I have a big lack of big tanks. Like, this heavy oil should have a big tank attached. I feel. And so should the condensates. Don't really have room for it, but maybe I can fit it somewhere. Sure. Alright. Just to make sure those have a proper buffer. These should have a bigger buffer too, given that we're doing the... Oh, they do. Okay. Oh, benzene's getting used up. Probably because it's a fluid fuel up here. Yeah. Okay, so benzene's okay. Because we're prioritizing... Yeah, why don't I go to like 40%, 50%? We keep a bit more benzene back. Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna go up to 90%, or at least 80%, because that one's 90%. Anyway, okay, so yeah, the cold steam. Am I not providing cold steam? See, that's kind of what I'm getting at here. I don't think we're providing cold steam anywhere. So that's a little annoying. Because wherever we do liquid nitrogen, we're going to get a lot of cold steam. And we get nitrogen as a byproduct from other things, right? Well, kind of. I don't know what to do here. This is a tricky... Maybe I shouldn't do this here. I mean, I've already got it set up. I don't... No, I'm gonna do this somewhere else. I think this is gonna be better somewhere else. Okay. There's a good spot for it. I need to add some new blocks, I think, just in general. Like, I can fit some stuff up here. Let's add a block there. Let's add a block. I don't have anything in this block, so let's add one there. Add one up here. Just keep the bots busy. They gotta do something with all their free time. Okay. Also, someone said there was an issue somewhere in here. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, I'm just missing a belt for iron. Yeah. I think that fixes it. Not that we really needed that many small parts being made, but that issue's now fixed. Why don't we just do liquid nitrogen here? I mean, I guess the only thing that would help us would be to make it in a place that's already providing cold steam. Like right here. I mean, this is providing hot steam and then cold steam as hot steam in case we run out. So this is a low priority if I remember correctly. Yeah. So where's a place that's already providing cold steam then? I don't know if I have one. I mean, no, that's not true. I do know that I have some. In fact, isn't there one like over here? No, that's saline water. Here? Here we go. Here's cold steam. Okay, here's cold steam and a place I can do nitrogen. So this feels like an appropriate spot. And we can request the... Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I am going to have to bump up the request threshold to 25k. But we have lots of sulfuric now, so that's not really a problem. So we'll go 35,000 there, 25,000 request threshold. Request the nitro gene right here. Nitrogen. Nitrogen. Make sure it's the right one. 75k. Perfect. We'll need a attachment on the wire. All right, and then now we can paste this thing, which I'll give some space to the whole ammonia thing. We'll put it like over here. And then we've got some water. Can't see crap because of these trees. But that's at least attached now. That'll power everything up. Get power attached to there. And then we're gonna need to request gasoline. Next. Fortunately, it's going to take a second here. Gasoline is that one. We shouldn't need 75k of this one just because we need 10 times as much nitrogen as gasoline, so rates wise that should all be fine. Okay, and then the nitrogen comes out and up to there. The gasoline goes up to there. Cold steam. We need a bigger tank to help store it. I'll just throw up here. Out of the way. Oop. And then, let's see, these guys. First of all, let's get that hooked up. This is what's going to hold liquid nitrogen. Liquid. Oh, there's a lot of things if we type liquid. That seems like the right one. Okay, so liquid nitrogen goes down. I guess it doesn't need to. It can just T-junction into there, which means we need to do that right here. And then for cold steam, same story. T-junction, which means this can just be that. Okay. Okay, I think that does it. We've got power. We've got... Oh, we don't have water yet. Yeah, we have water. We've got the nitrogen. The cold steam's hooked up. And then finally, I guess we just need... So this is a one-way, so we also need a pump into the system, I guess. This. And then an overflow. Gas vent. Okay. So that'll just get rid of any excess steam. And I think that does it? Question mark? Oh no, but this is a low priority provide, right? Wait, why is this ammonia a normal priority? Oh, it's because we're okay with that because the urea request is low priority. Where else are we making ammonia again? Can't remember. Is that okay? Because I'm just wondering if we're gonna need to change the priority of that ammonia. Where are we making ammonia? I swear it was over here somewhere. I guess we can type it in. That's kind of what this is for, right? Wait, really? No, there must be another recipe it's not catching. How else do we make ammonia? Can I alt-click this? I cannot alt-click this. I know I can alt-click this, though. How else are we making it? Oh, this one. Yeah. Coke fluidization. That's our primary ammonia source. And that is up here. And that ammonia is at 0 priority as well. So does that mean they're taking turns? Interesting. Huh. Taking turns providing, I think is how that works. If they're on the same prio. I don't think it's distance. It could be distance for provide. I know if there's 2 requesters on the same priority level, they'll take turns receiving things. I don't know if providers take turns handing out things, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not totally sure where that lands. And now I've already forgotten what block I was just building stuff in. Oh yeah, it's over here. Bots are having to take a very long trip over a very wide gap. Sure, that's great for their battery buffers. Guess I could help things out slightly by adding one there. And then by adding one maybe here. And then here. Here. I'm just trying to help my bots out. And once that one's built, that one will actually... That's not a channel 1, right? Oh, that is a channel 1. Oh. Okay, so then after this one, we can build this one. And after that one, we can build this one. Okay. Just to have less of a dead zone there. Anyway, I don't know why I chose liquid nitrogen to be 10 million miles away from everything else. That was maybe a bad choice. I guess I wanted it to be close to this nitrogen, because that's the main thing that'll get shipped. So that's fair. In retrospect, that's fair. Okay, we've got our gasoline, we've got our nitrogen. So now we're just waiting for everything to get built, I think. We'll check on it in a minute. I think that's done. Today's episode is going to be slightly shorter, by the way. We're already at half an hour, which is crazy. How are we doing with mixing here? Still seems kind of clumpy. But there's no way that a mixer this short causes clumping. I still don't buy it. I think it's just taking a long time. Because look, there's a big clump and then there's a gap, but then there's another clump. So it's not like all the clump is one clump. We've got some separate clumps here. So I think that it is slowly getting mixed. I think it's gonna take 5 years, but I think it's happening. And we are out of Raux, actually. No, we're out of cages again? Yeah, we're out of cages again. Okay. Are we still out of moss? Not at the moment. But moss Mark II will be important. Okay, why is science stopped? That's always a good question. Half of our gameplay revolves around why is science stopped. It stopped because of cotton guts, and cotton guts are running again. Something feels off. Are cotton guts going somewhere else? What's consuming cotton guts? Because we've been making more than enough. We're averaging over 1 a second, and science doesn't use that many. And I don't think we've needed to render them for anything recently. Unless, do any of these things consume cotton guts? Off the top of my head, flavonoids is Yadles. I think someone left a comment about that exact statement. I think I said in one episode, flavonoids is just Yadles, and someone was like, out of context, that might be the craziest sentence I've ever heard. Like someone that doesn't play Pi, hearing that sentence. Is Declan? Declan doesn't use. Declan's yeah, chemical. Yeah, none of this stuff consumes more cotton guts. So that should be the total cotton gut cost, is 0.6. So I'm not really sure why we aren't seeing cotton gut. I wonder. Yeah, I just don't totally understand what the issue is, because we've had production now for like over an hour and a half of perfect cotton gut production. Huh. Interesting. It's just about to get to a full train. I wonder if the science is requesting full trains. And then once it does get a full train, it'll be good for like 2 hours or whatever. Yeah, it is requesting a full train of cotton guts. And a full train of cotton guts will last how long? It'll last about an hour. Still feels like it should be already running then, because if we've been producing cotton guts for an hour and a half at a faster rate than what we need, oh, that's the wrong button, then we should have had, you know, after only about 40 minutes, we should have had a train full of cotton guts. So what's the situation here? Are we doing something weird with, like, we're getting too many? Are we using too many of them and then stuff's spoiling? I like honestly don't know what's going on here. Oh, sorry if that was loud. Yeah, maybe we'll have to check it out when it's running. I don't think we made any mistakes with the spoilage stuff. I mean, we were trying to make sure we did it all correctly and only run buildings, you know, when stuff is correct. Wait, where is that measurement coming from for the input? I feel like I'm missing something here. Wait, what the heck? Oh, for some reason that wire going diagonally I thought was like not connected to anything. Okay, it is connected. All right, so that only runs if we're not full on logistics science. This runs, yeah, okay. And then the Pi2 stored stuff is being measured there. Okay, so yeah, that's all good to go. And that runs, or that stops running the Sarcoris if that's in that. And then Sarcoris itself, is it limited in any way? Yeah, Sarcoris in the logistics network on channel 1 is less than 20, and this is a channel 1, so it'll only run until that has at most 20. And they have a 30-minute spoil time, so that's only about a minute of production, so that should be okay. How many are we requesting? We're requesting 2 each, so that ends up getting me 6 sitting in requester chest, maybe 9. It's 20, so 30 are constantly spoiling, which means 1 is spoiling per minute. So as long as I'm making less than 1 a minute, we shouldn't ever see any spoilage. Okay, now why is the train stuck here? That's new. Brand new problem. What is going on? What? Oh. Do we have Trashaline? Wait, what? How is this the first time this has ever happened? I legitimately have no idea how that's the first time that gasoline's ever been transmitted on channel 2 there. Because when I request gasoline, it's usually just on channel 3. So why did it... I guess it's always happened to get provided from this side? I have no idea. I have no idea how that happened, but anyway. Liquid nitrogen's good to go, baby. Nice. Alright. So liquid nitrogen's good to go. That is a step towards aramid. So let's add aramid to the bottom of this block. Wait, not aramid, sorry. Kevlar. I guess we could add both. Should aramid and Kevlar be in the same thing? It might be good to do that because they both need TCl. That's about all they share though. This needs sulfuric and a bunch of solids, and Kevlar needs all of that stuff. And then when we do the coating, do any of these even overlap with the solids that we need for aramid? I don't think they do. We got silver, sulfur, copper, iron, niobium, and glass. Yeah, literally none of the same solids either. So these are all just kind of random garbage stuff. I'll probably do all that in a new block. Maybe this one. Oh, that's a stone patch that we wanted to mine. Of course I built over that. Okay, well, abandoned ship on that. Instead, we'll build over here. Nope, let's build out of the way of trees. How about? That sounds better. I've got a free block over here. Also built in the middle of where I want to do mining. How did I manage to double whammy that? Good gracious. Just so lucky, aren't I? That's upmarking. I guess I could build over here by batteries. This isn't doing too much. And I've already got a couple solids here that I could potentially use. And request everything. So why don't we add... Kevlar. Alright, so Kevlar, we'll request nylon, we'll make the PPD on site, so we need to request fluids, which means nitrobenzene we need to make somewhere. And that is something we can do anywhere. I do want nitrobenzene on trains. I think it's only made in the one place though. Nitrobenzene barrel, yep, not made anywhere. So nitrobenzene's only made this way, which means wherever I do make it, I can make it in the same block as PPD and then just immediately not ship it on trains for that. And then I can additionally add it onto trains to provide for these other recipes that need it later. But see, even the cladding, which is part of this same optical fiber process, I think I want to do all of this in one block. I think I'm going to make this the big optical fiber block. And I feel somewhat fitting that battery's over here. So I do think that that's how I want to do this. So let's... I'm going to need to be done with the episode soon. But why don't I get one more requester of solids here. And I'm going to expand that one. And then I'm going to do F requester. I'm going to do 2 fluid requesters. Then a fluid provider. For stuff like nitrobenzene. Then I'll do one more strong side request. Then I'll do a strong side provide. That should be good enough. Not technically sure about that, but it should be fine. And I can also build some stuff on the left, but I think that's enough stations for everything I want to do. Let me preemptively get a second of these on all of them. Click, click, click. Okay. I think that's good. All right, cool. Well, in the next episode, we'll be working on nitrobenzene and aramid and cladding and optical, all the stuff we need for optical fiber stuff is what we're working towards now. And I did want to double check that the liquid nitrogen was all running. It looks like it is. Beautiful. The steam is completely full, as I thought it might be, so we've got cold steam for days at a high priority provide. And then liquid nitrogen's already at 50K. Perfect. So liquid nitrogen's properly provided. Fish is being fished, probably because we're still not full on XIFO, which seems to be running properly. And the mixing, well, I don't really know if it's working. Because what exactly is the situation here? Because like once, let's say there's a gap and a building can't run because we don't have enough flora. Well then it's underfilled, and as soon as we see flora, this will add more flora. I actually think, hear me out, I think this is gonna help. I'm gonna move these two up here. Because what that will mean is if the building stops running, it'll be a longer gap between this is grabbing the front of a chunk and then this adds onto the back of that. The closer these grabbers were to where this added flora, the more it supported shorter chunks of flora. I actually think that will make a difference. I'm not like 1,000,000% sure of that, but I think it will. But yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing a problem here still of like an area with tons of items and then an area with no items. Huh. I don't know. It's such a short mixer, I feel like it could take like 5 hours to figure itself out. Anyway, we need to be done with this episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.